Imagine sitting in a crowded lecture hall, surrounded by students taking notes, focusing, but your mind drifts to whatever else besides the subject matter. I know it can sometimes be hard to focus for most people, but for me, it felt like during my first year of college, I was struggling to get 5% of the content matter from a typical lecture. And I quickly realized during my freshman year of college at Tennessee that I kind of had a problem because I think that I had ADHD. I'm sure some of you have wondered why it's kind of more complicated for you to do a certain subject as opposed to somebody else who it seems to just come naturally for. So this presentation doesn't really only apply to ADHD. It kind of applies to a variety of different, problems, but as I'm going to explain, they're not really problems. You just have to get used to it. I initially was completely embarrassed by the idea that I had ADHD, but it kind of led me on an important journey of, self-actualization and self-worth, that type of thing. That kind of was a process of me understanding myself and getting to know myself better as I get older. So first, I kind of noticed the symptoms starting high school. So, as it went on, as the grades got older and the workload got stronger, I was like, I kind of was having issues, but the thing in high school was majority of the time I had enough time to get my stuff done despite the symptoms, didn't have a lot going on. So that was fine. But once I got to college, though, that's where it kind of just get rocky because I had more extracurriculars. I was hanging out more during weekdays. So it was that type of thing where it was like, okay, now I'm holding off stuff. I'm procrastinating crazy. And it was really starting to affect me because I was getting stressed that the deadline was approaching, but I couldn't get stuff done earlier, no matter how hard I tried. So I was constantly overwhelmed. I was feeling tired, mentally exhausted, so all that. So I looked up the symptoms. I realized that I more than likely had ADHD, but I was extremely hesitant to reach out and get the help that I wish I would have gotten during my first year of college because I was fearing that I would get judged crazy by, my peers, my instructors wouldn't know, but, my peers, my friends, all that. I was worried about the social stigma, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to push through this. And I did. I did for my first year of college. I didn't do horrible, but I know that I could have done better if I would have gotten the help that I needed. So it was definitely a process of learning to, figuring out my brain chemistry and learning more about myself as I came home from my college first year. And I asked my dad because I was like, I think I have ADHD. And I know that he had it. He's had it forever. So it was likely that I was going to have it eventually. But I was really starting to notice the symptoms. But I was like, I'm nervous. I don't want to get judged, all of that. And he was like, it's just a part of you. It's not a bad thing. You just have to figure out how to work with it. And it's a great thing, actually. So that was helpful in me understanding everybody has their own differences and normalize my experience because obviously my dad, who's one of the closest people to me, has had it and lives with it great. So I decided one sunny day when I was at work in Irvine, I was like, it's a good day outside. I see the ocean. I don't think this day could get any better. So I went in to the doctor's office and I asked my doctor and he confirmed that I had it. But he was also supportive in that he told me it's not a bad thing. It's just something with your brain and I'm not, advocating for medication. I've done medication and I still like it, but I'm not forcing that. But he just suggested doing medication because it doesn't alter you. It just brings you to where you should be originally. So I chose to do it. And I feel like my doctor was really supportive, my dad, my family, all that. And I'm very glad that I took that step forward and didn't worry about the consequences I thought were going to happen. So that was my personal transformation. I let go of the shame afterwards. I worked more on figuring out my personal strengths as opposed to my weaknesses, because with ADHD it was severely hard for me to do math, which I didn't like, but on the medication I was more dialed into math. I could actually get through it as opposed to just hating it the whole time. And then I also was enhancing the stuff that I already loved. So it's been great for me. And yeah, I'm just super grateful that I took that step, and I can completely 100% confirm that I have not had any type of like friends or anybody make fun of me, because that was my main concern. But it's been great, no social situations where it was like, oh, he has ADHD, like that type of thing. So it's been good. So yeah, in conclusion, I feel like the greatest act of courage is to kind of embrace your authentic self, no matter what you think people might think of it. And I'm glad that my ADHD, I figured out it wasn't a flaw at all. It's just, a part of me, and I'm glad I accepted it, and I'm moving forward in life better now. Thank you.